Hello and welcome, everybody. It's Alex here, and today we're here for AIRS Round 7 at Hockenheim. This is the German Grand Prix. We're at Hockenheim, of course, and this is the old layout that goes through the forest, but curls back round into the stadium section and back onto the front straight that we're familiar with today. Without further ado, let's get onto the grids, and I've got a good one for you today. Finley Taylor takes the pole with McHugh in second. Front row lockout for the McLarens once again. Then we have Louis Sach in P3. Then James Smith and Langenberg. Then Christopher Coburn, Maurice Senior, and Michael Valiak only 8th. The worst of the top 4 team cars. Not what we used to this year for sure. Then we have Reina Akikawa, who's just come off the back of, driver of the day at Silverstone. Brilliant performance, netting her 3 points. Matthew Barton with a 10th place. This is great for the Minardi team. And then we have Fishman de Jong, Regani, Graden, Kopich, Harvey, Polk, Fischer, Curtis, De Campo, Aguirre, Granville, new entry this time, qualifying 21st on debut. Then we have Armani Risotto, awful qualifying for the Tyrrell. Camille Faver, Shia Kitano, qualifying for the second time. Amir Opner, and Michael Teller rounding off the grid. Once again, the Fon Metal qualifying somehow. Michael Teller, one to watch for the future, I hope. And let's go and see the 5 red lights, shall we? As we're on board with Finley Taylor somewhat. See the lights. 4 lights, lights are on. And we're away. Looks like a good start from Finley Taylor, but McHugh hasn't made a good one. Louis Sach is trying to go around the outside. In the background, it looks to me that everyone has got through cleanly. We cycle back. Yep, everyone's got through cleanly. Let's take out my AI. Back up front, Finley Taylor. From Louis Sach. From Thomas McHugh. From Langenberg. Smith. Murray Senior. Coburn and Valiak. Looks like everyone's somewhat maintained positions as we go through the chicane for the first time. Going around the long right-hander that used to be flat out and the blast back down this section. As Fischer and de Jong sits in the slipstream, almost hitting 200 before we get into the second chicane. Uses the bit of the curve, both of them do, but Tishman de Jong overtakes our championship leader, Michael Valiak. Set up front, as Louis Sach here puts one underneath Finley Taylor and takes the lead as we head into the stadium section into Sark's curve. Or the Sachs curve, I've said that wrong. See Sach getting a little bit sideways there. As we go through the double right-hander, that finishes the lap. As we enter lap 2, it's Louis Sach now leading. Sets a 151.3 first lap of the race. Not bad. Then we have Finley Taylor, McHugh, under attack from Smith. Let's watch the speedo here. He's in 6th. Into 7th, hitting 194 as he pulls out the slipstream. 195, not quite hitting 200 here in that Ferrari, but going down into the chicane, it looks like he's got the move done. Indeed he has, that's a Ferrari onto the podium here. Todd McHugh having to settle for 4th place at the moment. See where Michael Valiak's got to. There he is. Yes, it is. Michael Valiak has got up to 8th. Once again, has overtaken Fidgeman de Jong. And Michael Valiak sat behind Murray Senior and Coburn. So Michael Valiak at the moment has believe it is a 16-point lead in the championship over Thomas McHugh in the McLaren. So he's got a commanding lead, even if he doesn't have a good result today. Oh, he's barging Murray Senior there. Tough racing from the guys, but Valiak wants to maintain a good lead and limit the damage, he's going to need to get a little bit further up. Ignore the cones spread everywhere there. So Mihail Valiak up into 7th now as he attacks Christopher Coburn. Up front, it's a 4-way battle between Sage, Taylor, Smith and McHugh. Fastest lap of the race goes to James Smith on a 46.6. Quite a long lap around here, but as you'd expect, as you see, you just blast into the forestry here. As McHugh pulls out the slipstream, and Taylor does as well. They're running as a box. That's probably not the right word to say, but 2x2. As it looks like the two McLarens are going to go 1-2 again. Nope, Sage is pulled past. As he slipstreams Taylor, look at the overspeed. He's going to try dive on into the chicane. Doesn't go for it as McHugh taps the back. You can see in the mirrors we have Thomas McHugh in the mirror. He got right up close to Finley Taylor. So Finley Taylor leading, Canadian, from the Brit, from the Irishman. As in the background we can see McHugh's tapped Sage. And it looks like McHugh has got past Louis Sage. Bit of contact, but it's so tight into that chicane. We have Langenberg in P5, with Mihail Valiak now P6 as he's overtaken Christopher Coburn. Samuel Gradin in 9th, with Rainer Akikawa in behind. Then we have Isabel Harvey, under attack from Fisherman de Jong. Now at the moment I would say that the Jordan is a better car than the Tyrrell. With Tyrrell not doing too much development, if I were to say so. I mean, Harvey's carrying the development of the Tyrrell at the moment, as Armani Risotto hasn't been getting the results, sorry. We have Wef Poke and Alan Kopich. Kopich did a lot of upgrades coming into this one. And let's see, quickly, I want to have a look at Armani Risotto in 16th, by the way. Let's find David Granville. Granville is running 22nd, one of the 3 newcomers going into this race, as Lotus Footwork and LaRousse have changed their lineup. And David Granville is the one that qualified for this race in the Tier 4 outfit, the French outfit. In 22nd at the moment, with Camille Favre behind and Amir Opner. Amir Opner's been not so good with the development of the car so far this year, as we are at half distance in the year. This being round 7 of 14, it puts us at exactly half distance. And at the moment we have a rough idea of who's going to be challenging for the title. And at the moment it seems to be Mihail Valiak is unstoppable. As Mihail Valiak has the fastest lap of the race, by the way. Let's go back. Michael Teller, unsurprisingly, dropping off the back in the Fon Metal. We'll go on board. See, he's only going 175 down the straights. That really is not good. Bearing in mind the front runners are running 195. Just shows how much of a difference there is between the top teams and the minnows of the grids. Poor Michael Teller, but he's shown promise, and heck, he's qualified for 2 rounds now. I think there might be a future for Michael Teller. Up front again, Finley Taylor and Louis Sage. Then we have Mihail Valiak in P3. What's happened here then? The man on fire this year. Mihail Valiak has clawed his way up from 8th to P3 in 5 laps into this chicane here. He must have pushed really hard to get up here. Still a gap towards the top 2, but I'm sure that everyone will close up eventually, as people save their fuel, save their tyres, and some people push. It'll cause everyone to close up. Louis Sage then. Now, I forget where he finished last time out. Oh no, I don't. He had an awful Silverstone. How could I forget? Obviously, he had a coming together with Mitchell Langenberg, losing his front wing and having to pit, which basically ruined his race. He didn't get any points. He's been very much outshone by Michael Valek, who's right in the background now. He's not going to go for the move, but he's right there. As actually, here comes Sage underneath Taylor, side by side, as the top two teams are battling on track. This is brilliant. The top four all concertinaed up. So they're going on to lap 6 of the race. So it's Finley Taylor from Valiak, who had a look there. And so did Thomas McHugh. He's having a look at Valiak. And Smith and Langenberg are on the back of that train too, with a little gap back to Morris Senior. As Michael Valiak having another look. Obviously wanting to run the charge and take the lead. He took another look again, but nothing happening there for Valiak. It's gone board. And yeah, Michael Valiak has put in some brilliant dominant performances where he's just taken the lead and no one's really meaningfully challenged him. As he's underneath him there in the mirror, we can see Thomas McHugh as he was trying to put a move on Valiak, and Valiak was trying to put a move on Taylor. As you can see, Sage leading, Valiak behind. McHugh's going for the dive. As they go side by side, pushing Valiak onto the curb. Who's going to get the better exit? And it looks to be Thomas McHugh has got back into P3. As Langenberg goes up the inside of Smith. As Valiak pulls to the inside late. No contact there, but McHugh using the throttle to push it around the corner. Maintains his P3. As Louis Sage continues to lead this race as we go on to lap 7. We'll stay up front for now as we watch this battle unfold. As Taylor has a little look. Has he slowed himself down though? As he go on the blast up the straight towards the chicane. Are we going to see Thomas McHugh pull out? Are we going to see Michael Valiak pull out? Valiak fast slap by the way still. On a 45.1. Finley Taylor goes up the inside. And so does McHugh. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He's going to try to drive around the outside. Yes, he does. It's a 1-2 from McLaren once again. This is very exciting stuff. I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this. I'm so excited to be here in Hockenheim. This is a brilliant circuit. Even though the crowd only gets to see a little bit of it, as the forest is, well, a forest. You're not going to get too many spectators here. Everyone crowds around in the stadium section. But on the TV we can see what's happening through here. Lots of long straights leading into the chicanes. This is a brilliant circuit. As here comes McHugh. Not quite. And I think Taylor's got the better exit here. As we look behind, the two Williams are slightly spread out. No moves there. But we can have a look at James Smith in 6th, but is it going to be 5th? As he goes up the inside of the forward power of Benetton, they're side by side. And Smith trying to go around the outside, and he has done. And Joseph Murray Sr. is going around the outside too, as Langenberg gets swamped and loses 2 positions in 1. Langenberg's fallen a bit off the radar as of recently, showing a bit of showing a few mistakes. Silverstone obviously, but unlike the guy that almost won round 1 of the season, he's fallen a little bit off. One rising star, I should say, is the Japanese driver. That is Reina Akikawa. Akikawa once again challenging for points in the Scuderia Italia. Akikawa sitting in behind Coburn here. P9 going up front again, shall we? And it is Sage now has the lead. We've missed that, I'm sorry. But Louis Sage has retaken the lead with McHugh and then Taylor. He's got 1.1 second lead over Thomas McHugh. As we blast down the straight once again on lap 8 of 17, approaching half distance. As we watch them go onto the curves, they use the curves very aggressively there. But of course, to save the most time, you want to be going as straight as possible through there, minimising your resistance and minimising the speed loss, keeping that speed through the corners, of course. And that's important through here, the Sarks curve. You want to be going in wide, cutting it inside and then going out wide again, running pretty much straight and flat out through that little left-right kink. And through these double right, you want to be taking them as one corner. As we head back onto the straight and up to the checkered flag line. Indeed. Louis Sage, once again, leads the lap. As Thomas McHugh is slightly closing in. We're going to go to the back of the field. We have Michael Teller, 5 seconds behind Shai Kitano. As Amir Opner attacking for there for P23. And that matters for these back marker teams. As for there, immediately challenging back as she tries to put her nose up the inside of Amir Opner. And here comes Shai Kitano. Shai Kitano is right on the back of them actually. David Granville here. He's got 15 seconds on his teammate. Jesus Christ. This is a brilliant debut from David Granville. And Marcos Aguirre, 21st. Giancarlo De Campo, awful performance. Same too with his teammate Regani. Obviously Brabham got moved back into tier 3. They're looking more like a tier 4 team today though. As Aaron Curtis here trying to put the move on Regani. Not to be. And here's the two Minardis. Matthew Barton is under attack here, battling for 16th. After qualifying 10th, we expected a little bit more from Brit. That Minardi perhaps hasn't got the best race pace then. Here's for sure, as he blots down the straight. And then we have Risotto and Poke. Poke attacking Harvey. And it looks like Risotto is going to be closing up very soon. Fishman de Jong kind of on his own. And Samuel Gradin only a little bit up the road, but he's also alone. Akikawa has dropped back a little from the battle for points. And then we have the Benetton of Langenberg. Christopher Coburn. Murray Sr. attacking Smith here. Smith going defensive. And he pulls to the other side. Murray Sr. having a little look, having a little nibble at the gearbox of Smith, but nothing doing there. Michael Velnak in 4th at the moment, with Taylor and McHugh and Sage leading the pack. Let's go on board. Reaching 192 by the end of the straight as McHugh takes a little look as we watch him barrel over curbs. Gets a better exit than McHugh in the Williams, as in Sage in the Williams gets away from the McLaren. As McHugh's closing up and he's looking for it, he puts his nose underneath, nothing there. Not quite. Through the Sarks curve. And then through the left-right where you don't lift off really. And watch him take this right-hander as one corner. Using the curb on the entry, not so much on the exit as we blast past the start-finish line. As we head on to lap 11 of 17 here. That begs the question, who's going to win? Comment in the chat at the moment with whoever else is there. Tell us who you think's going to win. As Thomas McHugh drops it underneath. And he's made the move stick on Louis Sage. It's a good move there from Thomas McHugh into the chicane. Seem to be the popular overtaking spots on this track. But here comes Sage in the very quick Williams. Tries to go to the outside. And he sits in behind as we go through the chicane, barreling over the curbs. Looks like McHugh's got the better exit. But Sage has got the best straight line speed. As Sage here he comes. Which way is he going to go? He looks to the right. And he goes to the left. But he doesn't make the move stick. As they get a little bit sideways there, they're pushing very hard. And I'm not surprised as the number 6 is incoming. Michael Valiak, here he comes. McHugh getting a little bit sideways through the right-hander into the Sachs curve. And here comes Sage. Side by side through the Sage curve. Sachs curve, sorry. Not confusing when you have Louis Sachs. I give up. Louis Sage and the Sachs curve. Oh dear. And here comes Mihevak. He took a little look into the first corner. Vinnie Taylor in 4th with Senior in 5th, and then Smith and Coburn and Langenberg. And here comes Valiak. He pulls out a slipstream, but McHugh closes him off. So McHugh braked quite late. That doesn't really leave many opportunities there for Valiak. But here comes Valiak. He's got the overspeed massively. But McHugh pulls across. Valiak taking another look. Not quite. And it looks like McHugh's got the better exit. As Sage disappears into the distance. He's got 1 point, almost 2 seconds on McHugh at the moment. In the background, it looks like Valiak is overtaking McHugh as they go side by side. And it looks like Valiak has got the move stuck. Yes, he has. And now it's a Williams 1-2. How things change, hey? Thomas McHugh immediately fighting back though, as they go side by side through the right-hander into the Sachs curve. And Joseph Murray Sr. is attacking too, as he's up into 4th place. Or 5th place. Or 6th place, sorry. As Murray Sr. has just lost 7th place, sorry, I've completely cursed him. Yeah, Joseph Murray Sr. here. Let's drop behind both Ferraris now. Unless he's going to pull it around the outside. I think, yeah, Smith's got the better of him here. As he pulls to the inside, they're touching, wheel to wheel. Smith keeps the place with some aggressive defending. I don't blame him, after all. This track is not the easiest to overtake on. So we have Sage, he's disappeared 5 seconds into the distance. This is brilliant from Louis Sage, as we're gonna go on board and watch the rest of this lap, as it seems to be a purple lap. As he blasts down the straight 192 as he brakes into left-right. Gets a little bit sideways there. Not worse, not the best exit. Just going to head into the right-hander. Uses all the curve beautifully. On exit 2. Into the Sachs curve, using all the curve nicely. runs it out wide, that's beautiful, goes left and right, and he's going to take this right-hander, he's going to take it all in one. He does, he uses all of the exit curve, runs it to the line. It's going to be a 47.3, not a bad lap, but not the fastest lap actually, dropped off slightly, but Louis Sage has a 5-second lead. Then we have Michal Valiak in behind, kind of matching Sage's pace. Then we have Thomas McHugh, and then we have Coburn and Taylor pulling to the inside. Looks like Taylor made the move work, doing it on the straight, which is really the ideal. As the front battle has calmed down slightly, why don't we take a look at the back? Michael Teller, and then Shai Catano. Then we have Amir Opner and Fever locked in battle still, as Opner goes up the inside into the right-hander, but Fever trying to keep it on the outside, now into the inside for the Sachs curve, as they go side by side, but it looks like Opner's got the move. Yes, he has. Granville way up the road, 26 seconds now. Big gap between 23rd and 22nd. Little gap between Granville and Aguirre. And then a massive gap, 16 seconds to De Campo, who's fighting with the Leighton House of Curtis. And then we have Rodgani, the American Frenchman, attacking the Serbian Kopic in the other Leighton House, fair to say. So they're going side by side, but it looks like Rodgani has got the move done. Then we have Barton for sure. These guys have been incredibly evenly matched all year long in the Minardi team. And then we have Armani Risotto attacking Polk. And then Harvey, Akikawa, Gradin, Murray, Senior, Langenberg and De Jong. De Jong now in the points. As the two Jordans, the Tier 2 team, proving why they're the Tier 2 team now. Battling for points. As Murray Senior here. Not quite making it work. Is he going to go to the inside? No, he isn't. He's going to sit in behind. To try and get a good exit, gets a bit sideways. Not going to happen there. And these five could be the battle to watch later on. As here we have Fishman de Jong being overtaken on the inside by Langenberg into the right-hander. As the little drop down the hill, round the right-hander and back down straight. As Murray Senior in behind now. Here he comes. And uses a lot of curve, but he's got it stuck cleanly as well. We haven't seen too many clean moves around here today, but that was one of the cleaner ones. As Valiak has closed down Sage, but the gap is still 2.6 seconds. As we're heading on to lap number 16 of the 17. So this is the penultimate lap. So who's it going to be? Is Valiak going to close up anymore, or will it be Louis Sage? Valiak also Valiak setting a 45.2 that last lap. He's really pushing to try and maintain his winning streak. I bet the rest of the field are hoping he doesn't actually, but either way he's still going to pull a gap on his title rival Thomas McHugh, who is in 4th. Here he is, as Taylor has got ahead of him. The two Ferraris locked in battle for 5th and 6th. We'll actually sit on board with them. We'll sit on board with this is Smith. As Coburn, not going to pull anything silly on his teammate. As they go through the chicane, back round the right-hander, the long sweeping right-hander taken flat after the chicane. They blast back down the straight. Coburn braking late, but not going for a silly move, of course. Not on your teammate, that's not what you want to be doing. And up front, it looks like Sage has pulled a slight gap as he's catching Teller, actually. We wouldn't want the hashtag Tellered meme to carry over, but that's probably what Valak's hoping for here. Doesn't want to be beaten by his teammate here. As we enter the final lap of the race, it is Louis Sage with a 2.4 second lead. As he's closing up to Teller, he's going to get the slipstream down the straight, surely. Yeah, Teller letting him past very nicely. That's exactly what you want to see, really. So they head down into chicane, the first chicane for the last time. Sorry. As Valak's going to be catching Teller here, I assume he will let him pass eventually. But here's the battle for the final podium spot. Thomas McHugh is going to want this, and so is Finley Taylor. Here comes McHugh, he's going up the inside. As they break into the chicane, McHugh's got the right line, and indeed he's made it work. But now Taylor has the slipstream, as we go back up front to see. Yes, Louis Sage has got the 3-second lead as we head into the final chicane. Michael Valak's going to be trying desperately to keep up, but I think it's going to be Louis Sage here, unless we suddenly get something incredible. In the background, it looks like McHugh, but Taylor's going up the inside. Not quite, he puts his nose in. Sachs curve is going to be the last opportunity. But up front, it's going to be Louis Sage taking the win at the German Grand Prix, with Michael Valak, his teammate, sitting in behind. So Williams 1-2. That is absolutely brilliant for the Grove outfit. And in P3, Thomas McHugh, Finley Taylor, James Smith and the Mitchell Langerberg recovering into P6, with Coburn and Murray Sr. rounding out the points. And it looks like Reina Akikawa got 9th in the end, with Fidgeman de Jong and then Isabel Harvey and Gradin. So we're going to go on to the end results screen. Confirmation of the race results. Louis Sage wins the German Grand Prix by 0.8 of a second over his teammate, with Thomas McHugh rounding out the podium. Then we have Finley Taylor, James Smith, Langenberg, Coburn, Murray Sr. are your points finishers. Reina Akikawa missing out slightly. As we go down the thing and show you the rest of the results, as everyone just finishes up here. Let's pick a driver of the day while we wait for everyone to finish. I think we'll have to go with, Reina Akikawa's done a brilliant performance once again. However, I'd like to say that Louis Sage is our driver of the day, as he performed so well up front, not cracking under pressure. It must have been leading the most laps. Michael Valak got the fastest lap of the race, as everyone has now finished, as Shai Katano has finished and Teller got lapped. As this is a slight delay, but the timing says he's finished. So Louis Sage then, as he pulls into the pits, is our race winner. And that is it from us. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time out for, I believe, the Belgian Grand Prix. Actually no, it's not, because we're heading to China for the race against coronavirus, and tune in on Sunday for that one. That's it for me. Goodbye. Race results will be out very, very, very shortly. And peace.